Welcome to State of Decay 2. So at the end of my last series, the Plague Territory series, where I got my first successful Nightmare Legacy, I was like, I'm going to take a break from playing State of Decay 2 for a while. I don't want to start a new series. I know we've got updates coming up in the future that I'm going to want to highlight, and I'd rather sort of wait to start a new series until then. That's what I was saying. But today I realized that actually there is something I want to do in State of Decay 2 that might be worth some videos, which is I want to create a feeder community for when I play co-op. So my son lately has gotten really into State of Decay 2, and he loves to play with his dad. And the problem is, he doesn't really know a whole lot, and probably is not really going to catch on to a lot of the base management stuff. He is surprisingly good at figuring out UX and knowing how to do things once I've showed him how. But just sort of the conceptual level of, I've got this base I need to maintain. I've got resources I have to collect. I think he doesn't pay that much attention to it and isn't that interested in it. And so sometimes when I show up, he's missing stuff. He's missing, toolkits and gas cans and stuff like that, he would really benefit from. He is a car collector. He's collected about 9 or 10 cars in front of his base already. And usually they're mostly on fire. So I want to make a community that is just really good at stacking up a ton of resources that I can share with other people that I play with in co-op. And so I think that means what I want is, so which map do I want to play on? Which one have I not played on very much recently? I think Drucker County might be the one that I played on the least recently. So I'm going to grab Drucker County, and then let's do custom difficulty settings. And let's say map difficulty is green. Community difficulty is green. Action difficulty? I don't know. I mean, if I'm doing things, for instance, like cheesing bounties with this community, I might want to have enough zombies available that I can actually get into some trouble. I don't want to go all the way to Nightmare. Nightmare's crazy, but I am a pretty comfortable Dread player, so maybe I'll want to keep this at Dread. Also, it'll just make it more interesting to watch me play if I'm getting into more trouble. So yeah, I think we're going to go Dread Action. Yeah, Scott Lannon's making the same suggestion. I think that works. Anarchy Lad says, mostly on fire is how I keep my cars too. Good. Well, yeah, you and my son have that in common. That's great. No one might says that they've been playing on Drucker 2 and they actually quite like it. Yeah, I like it too. So let's see. Ideally, I want the Builder Boon. Absolutely. Charity versus mobilization. And a bunch of influence when I first settle. You know what? Starting with a bunch of influence, that actually feels like the most useful thing for a feeder community. Charity from the sheriff might be okay, except I think I'm going to... I mean, they don't give you the greatest, highest quality stuff, and so I'm probably going to be happier just crafting my own stuff. So yeah, let's go with favors. And then... let's actually fill this out with some characters from my pool. Trying to think of... so maybe I should actually grab some of the ones who are... okay, so I could either grab some people who are harder to play, like Whitney here, who's got limited cardio, because it's, a mostly green situation. But actually, you know what? Maybe I should really focus on things like engineering or actually auto mechanics. Okay, she's got limited mechanics. Because being able to make things like vehicle upgrades might be really valuable for a community like this. Or munitions, so that I can make really fancy stuff. I really like Merci, actually. She was a warlord-ish character in one of my first communities. And I've got a great affection for her, and I don't necessarily want to put her in a ton of danger. So maybe Merci makes sense as even a leader of this community. Let's go back the other way. I'll save... oh, okay. Auto mechanics. Oh, this is... wait, Chris. It looks like she's been a leader before. This is... I didn't realize that she was actually carried over from a previous community. I like her. She survived 2 times. Merci survived 2 times. So these are both... long-term investment characters. And then... okay, I'm having trouble getting my cursor to go where I want. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we've got auto mechanics. I could grab I could grab the bunny lord actually, pull her in here for medicine so that we can make as many, like health consumables as we want. That might be good. And then the main thing I like about this is just some of my favorite characters. This will keep them safe, right? And so I'm not pulling them into communities that I'm going to be exposing to a ton of danger. I could grab Flores too, but no. Oh, here we go. Modena, Funky Cold Modena. Yeah, maybe I won't do the Bunny Lord here. Maybe I'll just do Modena, because I also like her. She's got medicine, and she's about to specialize. So Cogs is asking whether my son is involved in planning like family shopping trips and stuff like that. I'm wondering if that would help him learn about base management. He does actually really like to go shopping. He likes to plan. Like he likes to sort of go to the grocery store and figure out what snacks and things like that he wants to buy. We don't do a lot of planning in advance with him, but he does definitely like to be involved in those decisions. Interesting. So Cog says that there's a way to actually keep the trader from the trader boon around if I want to. I don't know if I'm that super interested in it. I mean, the mysterious wandering trader shows up eventually, and that's often an even more lucrative source of stuff. So I don't think I need to keep the trader around necessarily. Malatur says that they crack up at the "can't sleep alone" trait that Merci has. That I think it causes some annoyance in other community members, but I think she doesn't take up a bed because she just cuddles with other people, which is just amusing to me, especially for someone who's otherwise as badass as Merci is. Oh yeah, so Cog says if the Bunny Lord's in this community, the Bunny Lord has to be the leader. So actually, I'd kind of rather give like Merci or Modena a chance to be a leader. They're both warlords. Maybe this is going to be a warlord community. Maybe I'll give them a shot instead, because the Bunny Lord's already had her shot, and Chris has already had her shot. Actually, let's cycle through here one more time to see if we can find another auto mechanic who maybe hasn't had as much experience in the game. And if I don't have another auto mechanic, that's fine. I've got Jose here. I don't even remember Jose very well. Okay, yeah, so these are all kind of second stringers who never got to be the leader. Maybe that's better than having Chris in here. Elvis Freshly points out that he thought that Modena's name was Moderna, and that she should be particularly resistant to disease. If her name was Moderna, that's pretty funny. Okay. Let's see here. So, yeah, Scott Landon says that maybe I should get someone for upgrading the command center for Outpost, specifically one of my programmers. You're probably right. That would definitely... Thing is, because I'm going... because Outposts are mostly about resources. I'm pretty sure because this is Green Zone, I'm not going to have any trouble with resources. And so I can sort of take my time to find a programmer out in the world somewhere. Or just claim... what was it, the radio, the cell tower outpost? I think those are the ones that could train you in computers. Train somebody in computers. Yeah, I think I'd rather do that. I think that's not going to be as much of an emergency for me as making sure that I have, like, maximized my consumable generation abilities. Okay, so I think this is the people I'm going to start with. Merci, Jose, and Modena. Start community. Yes. Stealthy Assassin points out I hadn't actually been paying attention to Jose's leader type. Stealthy Assassin pointing out that I'm all warlord right now, apparently.
Not me. Last time I almost walked.
Nobody wants to watch this. All right. Now let's look in the back. Look at that. I don't have any gas in there.
We need a new home, and we need it right the heck now.
All right, you take my food rucksack. I'll take this. And I've got a backpack that's already full of stuff. What? I think all of these guys will. Okay, I've got a Sea Dog blunderbuss, a spyglass. I got a bunch of pirate stuff for some reason in this guy's inventory. Oh, now I recognize Jose. I remember dressing him like this. Okay. What else do you guys have? Merci is carrying... Whoa. Merchi's got a Vulture 44 and a whole bunch of 44 plus an assault rifle, an M4X2 light assault rifle, and she's got a Magnum ammo press. She was a really good one to pick, actually.
We need a new home, and we need it right the heck now.
Oh, she's got... Whoa, we've got a grenade launcher here. We've got a shotgun ammo press. Okay, I picked some good people for making a pill press. And a heavy-duty ammo press. Wow, I picked the right people to be starting a consumable generating community. That was not even what I intended specifically. Okay, well, let's head out. So Cog says that he missed out on why I'm making this community. So basically, when I play co-op with my son, and occasionally with other people too, a lot of times I'll find that they are missing stuff. Especially my son, who has not really quite figured out the intricacies of base management. He's much more of a, let's get in a car and run over as many zombies as I can. That's sort of his approach to the game. So I thought it would be useful for me to have a community that was just loaded up on all of the consumables and other resources you could possibly need. So that when I do play with somebody else, I get plenty of stuff to give them. That's one of the things, like playing with Brant or Joe, that's really helpful, is that they play so much and they've built up so much stuff in their long-term communities that they just always have extra stuff for other people. They've got extra cure, they've got, you know, if there's a particular type of weapon you don't have, they've usually got 3 or 4 of it. If that few. So I'm thinking that having a community like that would be really useful. Okay, these guys found an awkward place to be fighting zombies. What about down here? Any zombies down here? My friends are finding some.
I guess we're good. Time to claim this place and move in.
Nice.
Now that's using your head.
All right, claimed home site, confirm. Malator says, I have one of these communities for my friends since I talked 6 of them into starting the game. Wow.
Working and the breaker box is connected. Enjoy your water and power, everyone.
I really appreciate that, Malator. We rely on word of mouth.
Our first priority has to be gathering materials. We'll need them to improve this place.
I need you to scout an area for us.
Okay, so let's just drop off a bunch of stuff. And then let's actually switch to all 3 of my characters and just drop off all of the things we don't need. Yeah, take your time getting away from that counter. All right. Let's drop this off, and this, 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 and this. Actually, so that's the thing. So because this is a feeder community that's designed specifically to save things up for other people, how much should I avoid using things myself? Like, because I'm playing in the green zone, I should probably not worry about it too much, right? I should probably just be like, yeah, I can fire my guns as much as I want, whatever, doesn't matter, because I'm going to be getting so many more. That maybe that's just okay. Yeah, let's really lean into... Okay, she is a close combat person, right? Yes. So yeah, let's lean into carrying as little stuff as I can, so that I can go out and bring back as much stuff as I can.
Too loud.
Especially since right now I don't have a vehicle. Let's go through this initial series of missions. Oh wait, trading with Marcos. That's right. We've got the... That's the rucksack. Okay, there, right there. That thing. Where's that? over this way. Okay, I'm not actually... I don't know if I've ever taken advantage of the trader boon before. So let's head this direction first. Just to see what's up with that.
I'm still at it, getting it done.
I'm glad to hear it.
Uh-oh. Well, King Tava showed up and says, "Oh, I missed the ending of your previous community. Gotta head to YouTube." Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's why I post that stuff to YouTube, because people don't really... I don't think they browse a lot of Twitch highlights, but they do tend to watch YouTube videos, and so I don't want people to have to get up early or do whatever you have to do in your time zone to meet up with me and catch this stuff. I'd like you to be able to watch it on your own schedule. Ooh, wait a minute. What's up with her? Oh, because she's got... Is it full up close combat that lets her just do those instant grabs? Yes.
This one's locked. No more zombies around.
Did I go to the wrong place? Oh, take that, zombie.
I'm thinking this should be an outpost for us.
Huh. I thought I was going to the... I must have misunderstood something. Oh, there. Right there. That was the trader. I thought this was the trader. That's not the trader. This is the trader. I'm here for what? Oh, this is one of the materials sites. Why is this a materials site? That was what distracted me. I knew this was a gas station, so I couldn't figure out why this would be the place to look for materials. But, well, I got some fuel now, I guess. So yeah, apparently Marcos is up there, and I didn't notice. So great. Let's bring this back home. I'll worry about scavenging for the rest of that later. Hey there, Marcos.
Shall we do some business?
Okay.
So what you got? Oh, you have so much ammo for me. That's amazing. AK-47, not too bad. Why would I want to buy this fancy stuff? I don't know. So I could, yeah, I think I will grab some of this stuff that will help me with early crafting. I don't want to spend that much on seeds. Okay, let's run some of this stuff inside the house. Actually, before... Okay, so now I see what Cogs is talking about. Because the trader is integrated into this first mission, as long as I never complete this first mission, he'll stay around indefinitely. That makes a lot of sense. I think before... here's the problem.
Wanna make a trade?
He's offering me more ammo than I think I can store.
Do I really have to carry all this crap?
And so I actually want to enhance my storage. Can I afford to do that? It takes 5 materials. So I might actually need... I might need to grab materials in order to take all of the ammo that I want. So I think I'm not going to follow Cogs' advice. So I totally understand how that works, and that makes a lot of sense, Cogs. I'm not going to follow Cogs' advice. I'm going to go over here. I am going to grab these materials. And then... yeah.
No more zombies? Too bad.
I hear a zombie, though.
Hey, isn't this okay? That wasn't bad. All done. That's great.
Now that I'm not in the nightmare zone anymore, I feel like I could be absolutely
Well,
reckless
there's
with my
the
searching.
users.
Okay, so now that got me not only a fuel rucksack, but a full-on nice gas can. So I think we're in pretty good shape to start already. So let's return these materials to home. Let's build ourselves a storage, a better storage, and then let's buy as much ammo as we can hold.
It's time to get building. Either a workshop or be a good place to start.
Haha, no. I will not do what you say, Merci. You are not the boss of me. And now
What's up
we
for trade, eh?
Yeah, sure.
get to do the fun process of going back and forth to the trader. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let's drop this stuff off. It used to be possible to jump out this window. Oh, it is still. I thought we turned that off. No, I think what we turned off was AI doing it. That's right. You can still jump out that window if you want to, but AI won't do it because it used to be that was the main way that AI like before release. That was the main way that AI characters would leave the house is they would just jump out that huge window all the time. We had to make that stop.
Shall we do some business?
Okay.
Let's make a deal here.
Okay.
Oh no, we don't have enough storage space for ammo. So right now, I'm actually not super worried about exactly which types of ammo I grab. I just kind of want a bit of everything, so... And I guess maybe before I started loading this thing up, I should have waited for it to fill. Let's buy some fuel. Let's just, while that storage upgrade is finishing, let's start filling up a different
Wanna make a
resource.
trade?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, there is no more ammo for me to grab anyway. Well, you know what? I didn't end up using the storage upgrade that I bought because I ended up just sorting all that ammo out of it instead. Whatever.
Let's make a deal here.
Yeah, sure.
Shall we do some business?
Yeah, sure.
So King Tavis wants to know how much UK influence there is in our game, specifically noting that the plastic bags that he sees around on the ground
Let's make a deal here.
Yeah, sure.
remind him of Tesco bags, which is a UK grocery store chain that is not in the United States. We might as well grab this. Why not? Sure. Fine. I'm going to be getting influence at such a high rate anyway, I think, that I don't need to worry. Oh, wait. I don't need to go there. I need to go here. All right, so she's got this amazing assault rifle. I think I'll just keep it because the thing that's nice about this assault rifle is it's got so many ammo, so much ammo in the magazine. I don't feel like I need to I don't need to carry any extra. Let's run over here. So one thing I should figure out is whether or not I want to resolve my bounties in this
Let
community.
that screamer know I'm here.
Is this where I want them? Or would it be better for me to just save these bounties up for my next like big serious community? It's a good question. It's a high-angle rescue hatchet, police sniper rifle, and police carbine. Okay, obviously we need to go down here. You know what? I mean, it's not like I can't pick those up somewhere else with enough influence, right? So, yeah, maybe I do want to start just collecting as much stuff in this community as I can. And that could include the bounties. And actually, yeah, one of my explicit purposes in this game is to collect a bunch of weapons and cheese a bunch of bounties for people. So yeah, that does make
With a look
sense.
here.
Hi.
Nothing
Man,
good
so
here.
close combat can be a scary specialization when you're playing at the bleeding edge of your of the difficulty you can handle.
Zombies.
But when you're playing at a little lower difficulty, close combat is a lot of fun. Oh wow, there's
I
so
wish I had
much
room for it.
already in my pants. All right, let's go back here. Oh, there's already stuff in the back. Ha 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 ha. I put that in there and that in there. Grab as much as I can, then we'll drive this back home. Or, let's just claim this outpost.
I've secured this location as an outpost. But with a bit more effort, this place could really help us out.
Look how much ammo we already have in this community. It's great. And since it's an outpost, all my searching goes screamingly fast. A BAR, 7.62, a mod 870. Wow, I love the green zone. The green zone's amazing. This one store is just loading me up. There's a rucksack. What's in here?
I checked everything,
More
top to bottom.
bullets. Drop this off. Let's go back to the car. And so yeah, I think this is going to be kind of the routine.
I feel like a pack mule.
Is like just going through the map step by step, vacuuming things up, and dropping them into my supply locker. This is gonna be like my pastime in this community. I'm not gonna try. So a lot of my communities, I try to religiously, only. What am I trying to say? Only play them on the stream, right? So that you see from beginning to end exactly what's going on with this community. You never miss any steps. Like if you watch all of the videos.
Elsewhere for a change.
I think I'm not going to try to do that with this community. I think this is going to be a community that I just go to in my spare time, and and I might stream, from this community fairly regularly if I just want to run around and get in trouble. But I'm not going to try to be religious about it.
I hope nothing heard that.
Let's see here. Drop this off, and then I should catch up with the chat. I'm so bad at that. Oh, right. Yo, yeah, so Cogs was... Back when I was talking about the bounty broker, Cogs did point out the same thing that I realized, which is that I can always buy those weapons at in other communities that I get from the bounty broker, so I don't necessarily need...
This one's locked.
I don't necessarily need to worry about where I grab the free one. Honestly, I think my biggest problem is going to be just keeping up with all of the resources that I can. There's another gun. Oh man, after playing on Nightmare, the sheer number of guns that I'm finding is crazy.
I found some useful things while I was out.
Look at this. Whoa.
That's it for the search.
What?
Let's put
Oh,
everything
only
down
one
first.
thing I can't pick up. Okay, well, let's... I definitely want to collect as many skill books as I can, because that feels like a really valuable thing for me to collect for other players. So...
Uh-oh, only one left.
let's go back and grab... Is it over here? Yeah. Utilities book. Oh, yeah, so Cogs, that's right. Sorry, I started answering. I don't remember what distracted me. I started answering Davis's question about shopping bags, and I forgot. So I'm pretty sure I've heard somebody talk about them looking like Tesco shopping bags before. It could easily be that one of the artists did deliberately imitate Tesco as sort of just like a fun nod to people who are aware of that store. I'm not sure. So it might be a direct reference, or it might just be a coincidence. I don't know, but it's not. I don't think there's like a really clear intention. Like we as a studio didn't decide we are going to make this feel like it takes place in Britain, because it doesn't. This doesn't look like Britain. I think these hills would be greener if this was Britain. So, yeah, and definitely, none of our characters have English accents, things like that. So I don't think we're trying deliberately to do that as part of like a statement in the IP. But I would not be surprised if somebody on the art team was like, this looks like a Tesco bag, whatever, and we're just having fun with it. Okay, but the thing I'm actually supposed to do is get some materials. Is that materials here? Materials here, probably. Okay, let's go get some materials so that we can actually upgrade our workshop, or, sorry, build a workshop in the first place. Okay, now, because I set this to dread combat, I cannot do what my son does, which is just run over every zombie he sees. I still have to be very careful with my own cars.
Ooh, check this out.
While I'm collecting the resources to repair other people's. Oh, Cogs is suggesting that that I call in cars, that I call in vehicles, so that I have... Now, I don't know... So are you saying that I should call in vehicles because they come with ammo in the trunk sometimes? Or are you saying that I should call in some vehicles for ammo because I can store extra resources in the trunk after I collect them? Because I think resources are not the thing that I definitely want to collect resources, but the reason I'm collecting them is not to stockpile them, but to just use them all to create consumables and ammo and stuff like that. For storage. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I think I will not need... What I don't need is storage. I want a certain amount, but I want kind of a normal amount of storage, because as I run low on storage space... Okay, my plan is to just burn it all to make consumables, make other things that I can share more easily and more directly with other players.
Can't catch my breath.
Oh, gotcha. So Cogs was pointing out that actually he originally gave me that advice when I was talking about expanding my... look at that, I've already got a signal antenna. It's crazy. When I was talking about expanding my storage facility at my base in order to contain all of the rucksacks I was collecting. But actually, yeah, I think it was right after that I realized that, of course, I want to turn all of my rucksacks into things, which means I don't need to store a bunch of them, actually. So it took me a bit to recognize that, too. But, yeah, I think that's the case. All right, well, that's long to run. Watch me being an American. Like, I can't walk over to that corral. I have to drive over to a corral that's that close. John Bloke is writing some English flavored dialogue for State of Decay 2 in the chat.
No more zombies? Too bad.
I love Merchie's attitude.
I don't think there's anything left to find.
Oh, see you later, guys. Ha ha. Dumb zombies. All right, we're probably good to head home. It's already getting dark. It's not the easiest thing in the world to park your car at this base. I should probably move on as soon as I can. I'm trying to remember which difficulty category results in people showing up at my community who just arbitrarily wanting to join it. That's the thing that happens in Green Zone. I think it might be Green Community. I assume it is, actually. Okay. So let's start some work on this thing. So we can repair this, and we can build a workshop and an infirmary. Wow, this stuff is so easy to do in the green zone.
Hey, folks. We sure would appreciate some help over here.
On my way to your location.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so there's that community that wants me to, whatever. Do I care? I don't know if I care. Well, we've got some places that are right near here that I haven't vacuumed up yet, so I can do some of that first. Like this,
No more zombies here.
right here. So as soon as I have at least one more person, I think I'm going to want to move on to another base as soon as I can. So I can just, build more stuff, including like an auto shop, things like that can't fit into this base. I like how she sounds so serious about running. Like she's like, oh my gosh, gotta get away from all these zombies, and there's like no zombies chasing her. Okay. So we got all this stuff in progress. It's going to take up all my labor for a bit. Which means I can't... Yeah, I definitely want to upgrade this guy. So yeah, so I've got, the main one of the main reasons actually that I'm not going to be trying to just stream this all the time is the fact that it's going to be kind of dull. Most of what I'm going to be doing is just going from place to place, knocking over liquor stores, things like that, picking up as many resources as I can, and that's it. That's the game. Though actually, okay, why don't we do one quick thing? Let's head over to the bounty broker. Who's this? Oh, that's the trader. Okay, cool. Let's head over to the bounty broker. And let's grab those last weapons. Maybe that's and pick up whatever bounties we want to be pursuing in this game. Oh no! 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 Don't do that! No! Hey! All right. How do I actually want to get there? Can I go off-road all the way up there in this car? Huh. Maybe not, actually. You know what? I don't want to take this car. Let's, oh, see you later, zombie. Let's put this car right back, and let's call ourselves in a more off-road friendly car. Can I do it? I'm saying I need a more off-road friendly car, and look what this car just did. But I may need something even more off-road friendly than that. Did I? Okay, yeah, I just grabbed this thing. That's it. Okay, so that's not how you get to the radio. It's right here. Vehicle delivery. I've got so many options. You know what? I feel like maybe we should put more description into these. Let me make a note. So these are my sort of retail specific packs. I've got all of them. Most people only have one, if any at all. But we don't describe them well. And so I don't actually know exactly which cars these are. That one looks kind of cool. Let's grab this one.
I seriously need a vehicle here.
And of course, we've got this weird bug where for some reason the icon for a vehicle delivery got unassigned. I'm not sure why that happened, but it did. Cogs is saying that I could use these cars to explain to my son the benefits of pre-ordering. I don't know if I want to teach my son the benefits of pre-ordering. I mean, I do like pre-ordering things sometimes, but I'm not a huge fan, actually, of this weird little economy we've got where people feel like they have to pre-order in order to get like all of the content they want. We had people who bought 5 copies of State of Decay 2 when it first came out in order to get all of those
Totally worthless.
pre-order bonuses. And that actually doesn't make me very comfortable. Like, I feel like, we made a game that we thought someone should feel good about buying once, That's about the amount of game we made. We made a game that we thought somebody should feel really good about buying once and then playing for a very long time. Buying it 5 times makes me uncomfortable. That's not really what I signed on for and thought other people should sign on for. And so a system that sort of incentivizes like serious fans of a game to do that makes me feel weird. So I don't know. It's not my favorite. So yeah, Scott says that we could give them away during streams. We actually do. That is actually a major way that we use those pre-order bonuses. We do give them away as prizes on the stream. So they've got wait, hold on. They've got their values, but it's just, I don't know. I really like wishlisting games as sort of a way to keep track of the games you're interested in and stuff like that. Like, wish lists are great. Pre-orders, I don't know. I just feel like it should be okay for somebody to decide to wait until they've read reviews to play a game. And pre-orders incentivizing somebody to commit early to a game. It definitely helps, with things like, deciding what kind of marketing spend to do, stuff like that. If you already have a sense of how big the audience is for something based on the pre-orders, but you can do that with wish lists as well. But pre-orders are definitely a bit deeper commitments than wish lists. I mean, you can wish list anything, and then there's probably a lot of games out there that have had huge wish lists and then no one bought them. And so pre-orders, at least, they're a financial commitment. People usually mean it. So, I can see the value that it has, but I don't know, incentivizing it that way just feels... again, it's fine. I don't think it's like evil or something like that to incentivize pre-orders. Like, it's fine. People get to make their choices. It's okay. But I don't know. When I'm teaching my son how to make economic choices surrounding games, I'm probably not going to focus on pre-orders. I'm probably going to focus on, hey, wish list the stuff that you want, pay attention to the stuff you want, but also, watch people playing it online and read reviews and make sure that you're putting your due diligence in before you commit to a game you might regret.
It's gotta mean a plague heart is nearby. And probably plague zombies too.
Okay. Unfortunately, in the dark, I'm having trouble recognizing the terrain and finding the dirt road that leads up to the plateau. There it is. Jedi Psychic says that she's taught her kids to wish list and wait for sales on most things. Yeah, that's a really good strategy. I like when you're teaching kids economic strategies. I think that's a really good one. That's something that I do a lot myself. Okay, here comes the bounty broker. Okay, good. I didn't fill up my whole inventory before coming to the bounty broker because that would have been not intelligent. Scott Landon says that he will pre-order State of Decay and other franchises that he already has a lot of trust in, and that he definitely always buys every year. Yeah, I'm that way. Like, I'll pre-order Call of Duty every year because I know I always am going to play that year's Call of Duty, almost whatever it is. And so yeah, so that's That's an okay. I think that's definitely an okay strategy. I mean, again, I think everything's an okay strategy. Do whatever you want, you know. Like that's not. I'm not gonna try to tell people. Oops.
Hello, my friend.
I'm not gonna tell people how I think they should manage those sorts of things. Okay, so let's collect this police carbine, police sniper rifle, and high angle rescue hatchet. Okay, yeah, so all of these things I have already picked up, and then... Okay, so I usually tend to take the bounties... Whoa. I usually tend to take the bounties in reverse order, so let's see what we've got here. Kill a juggernaut with a heavy weapon. I think it's going to be hard to find juggernauts right now. Kill bloaters with pistols makes sense. Crafting rounds and bolts. I haven't installed my my stuff for that yet. Screamers with explosives. Oh, crap. Did we not fix this in the latest update? I thought we had a fix for the open range pack not giving you bonus influence for this. Hold on a second. Open range bonus influence for outfits. I could have sworn that that was something we fixed a while ago. I mean, maybe we just... maybe we just didn't pull it. I mean, 25.2 was a very selective update. We didn't just give you a full dump of whatever we had in our main branch, so maybe this just didn't make the cut. That surprises me, though. I mean, yeah, I'll have to check that out. Kill juggernauts with shotguns. Am I going to have to just go juggernaut hunting? Okay, so it looks like I should carry around a shotgun, I guess. And then... bloaters with pistols. Sure, let's do that. And then while I'm here... I'm not really well equipped for this. I'd rather come up with somebody who has a heavy weapon or something before I try to get into trouble with a plague heart. So let's head back home. We've still got plenty of places to... Oh, yeah, to scavenge just right around my house. So I don't feel like I need to... go scavenging out here. Eventually, maybe I'll move into... Yeah, maybe I'll move into the restaurant that's up here. I haven't spent a lot of time at that place. I'll move into the restaurant up here so that I've got a nice central location from which I can go and scavenge all over the place. Woohoo! There we go. That's how cars move, right? Come on. Come on. Yeah, so it's kind of what people in the chat are talking about, all their different sort of strategies and what leads them to choose to pre-order. You know, Cloudcraft says he only does it with the companies he really, really trusts. Otherwise, he always watches reviews and gameplay. Jedi Cytric says that if she knows she's going to get something for somebody as a Christmas present, and they've already sort of decided that they want it, then that makes the decision to pre-order a little easier. All right. So we'll send that in. Well, I've got a plague sample. I don't remember how many plague samples the road hikers are going to ask me for. If it was just one or if it was more than that. I think I might already have a couple, though. So let me come in here and see how many I have. Maybe I can just resolve that mission real quick. I've got 2. I don't think they ask for more than 2. So yeah, we can head up there. They're right next to a plague heart. And we are starting to come up on an hour, so I'll probably end up ending this session of State of Decay 2. pretty soon and try something else. Yes, over the rock. Yeah! This is how you drive a car. I'm an excellent driver. This is how my son drives a lot of the time, too. He just points himself at the objective and just goes straight for it. Oh, nice. They made their own plague samples. Oh, man. That is one of the benefits of playing in the green zone, is lots of plague samples. Hello. Here's your 2 plague
These
samples.
I can make something that'll cure blood plague if one of us gets infected.
Cool.
We're happy to share the recipe if you need it.
Oh.
Gracias.
Take care now.
I like that I stole stuff from their community and then said gracias.
Have some news.
Sheesh.
We should really be making those plague hearts a higher priority.
Dude, give me a break. Only reason I'm going to make them a higher priority, make the plague hearts a higher priority,
Hey there. Wanna come in?
is because they've got loot in them.
Okay. That's pretty heavy.
Okay, wait. How did I start running that direction? Parts. Is that everything in here? Nope. This place is loaded. I mean, yeah, I think I'm going to have to come back here later. All right, back home. Oh, John Bloke wants to know if I'm to play another chapter of Last Stop and find out if the little girl that I left starving gets to eat more than Jell-O. That's a good question. I haven't decided what else I'm going to play today. Maybe I'll play some Last Stop, or maybe I don't know. There's at least one new. I should try at least one new game I haven't played before today. I'm not sure which one it'll be, but. I should do more than just a second episode of something. Jedi Cytrix is interested in... Oh, yeah, in me playing Omno. That's right. I could check out Omno. I have so much stuff already. Okay, so let's... Okay, don't quite have the circuitry I need. Wait, but I can upgrade my command center. Oh, and I don't have any labor left. Okay, cool. Oh, and Medichi's getting tired. Okay, I think this has been a pretty good first session. Let's look at our supply locker. Okay, section by section. Look at this nonsense. Between what I already had in my backpack and what we've been finding at these sites, and oh wait, one thing I should definitely do is okay, I definitely need to sort a bunch of ammo. Let's just sort ammo like crazy. Get this thing down to 35, and and let's make gas cans. Get that down to 35. I think 35 is my limit on everything. Yep, except ammo. I have 45 for some reason. I think. Oh, one of my characters probably has a bonus there. So, yeah, we're doing pretty well on the resources. And then, just look at how much ammo I have. It's ridiculous. Not a lot of 50 cal, but whatever. Let's see. Yeah, so I've got one. Okay, I've got one standard crossbow. I've got one thing that fires 22. One thing that fires 9mm, 2 pistols that fire 45, one that fires 357, nothing that fires 44 except in Medichi's pocket, 3 shotguns, 2 assault rifles, or assault rifle and a sniper rifle that fire 5.56, 3 7.62s, and one of these guys. And plus I've got a grenade launcher that I can't quite use. So yeah, we're doing pretty well. Wait, how am I on consumables? Got a bunch of gas. Don't have a ton of explosives and things, so we're gonna have to spend at least some of our ammo on explosives and things. Another thing we should probably do, actually, as soon as I can afford the labor, we should start upgrading our ammo outposts. So yeah, so I think my outposts, I really want to just like take the resources that are most valuable for making consumables. So ammo, fuel, materials, I think, because if I can get the right, facilities, I can mulch that into parts really easily. So honestly, if I have a bunch of duplicate guns, I could probably get as many parts as I need too. Meds would be really valuable. So yeah, I should definitely think of my outpost strategy mostly as a source of consumables. So Cogs is joking that no, he doesn't actually need to spend his channel points, because when people recommend games to me, I just end up playing them anyway, regardless of whether I make people spend channel points to. Because I've got a channel point reward on my Twitch channel that basically lets people choose what games kind of force me to play specific games they want me to try out. But because I'm actually so eager to play every game that anyone suggests, it ends up not being necessary at all. Oh, I finished clearing the trash. Cool. All right, let's... Okay, yeah, so I could build a garden here. I could... What else could I do that's valuable? I think the garden might actually be the most valuable thing. Could free up my outposts to provide me with other stuff. Let's go with garden. That's still going on. And I was gonna... There was a mod I was going to install, wasn't there? Oh, that's right. I was going to... Huh. I've got 2 heavy-duty ammo presses. Holy crap. The Magnum press... I don't think I've got a specific one I need. Though I guess, actually... At some point, I should try to find the ammo press that lets me make, 22, because it'll make it in higher volume, and that's going to be better for fulfilling that bounty that wants me to craft ammunition. Cog says he has a question. Let me yeah, go ahead and ask your question. I'll try to pay attention to it. We're wrapping up. We're getting towards the end of the stream here, so. Oh, so you're talking about a suggestion to sort the manage mods window? Hold on a second. Let me. When you say the manage mods window, you're talking about this, sorting this. In what particular way? I don't think I caught the message where somebody was telling me how they wanted me to sort this. Oh, Stealthy Assassin, I'm going to wrap up this session of State of Decay 2. I'm going to keep streaming afterwards. I'm planning on switching to playing Omno next, probably. Oh, to sort it by mod. Well, oh, yeah, you're right. They are kind of random, aren't they? Look at that. Oh, that's silly. That is absolute silliness. Yeah, so we do have something on our idea board that says we should sort the supply locker much better than we do because bleh. But yeah, that's a really good point. Not just sorting them so that individual mods are lined up with their brethren, but also so that types of mods, like having all the ammo presses together and stuff, would probably make sense. And sorting the mods that are appropriate for this particular facility towards the top might also be valuable. So there's all kinds of different ways we could do this. Would probably be good. So I guess for right now, should I just install the heavy-duty ammo press? Or, I mean, I'm definitely going to be using the Magnum more often. Let's go Magnum for now. And let's see if there's any other mods that are appropriate for the particular places I've got here. It looks like, I think, is everything? Oh, espresso machine. That's probably the kitchen. No, what? It's not? Oh, I don't have labor. Oh, sure, we've been robbed. Whatever. All right. Anyway, we've made some decisions. We're about ready to go here. Cogs points out that long-term communities can collect hundreds of mods, so that window can be a huge mess. So yeah, so one thing I would really like to do is make it possible to salvage more things for resources. And stuff like that, so that if you have just a bunch of duplicate mods you don't need, you can at least do something with them. Also setting up so that the fact that the heavy duty it's not like the mods have it's not like the mods have durability or something, right? Like if I've got two mods that are the same, there's no reason why I would need to even list both of them separately on this screen. Like, I could just put a little 2 in the corner and say, by the way, you've got multiples of these, like it matters, and just not put 2 separate tiles. And that would definitely deal with the sort of sheer stacks of them situation. Are they also not stacked in the supply locker? Wait, where do they appear in the supply locker? This is them. Okay, we've got a heavy duty and heavy duty. Yeah, we're not stacking in the supply locker either. Why? That seems like something we should do. So, yeah, let me make that note too. Sort mods in base screen and stack mods in supply locker. Yeah, we should absolutely do that if we, next time we pay attention to this stuff. Akina Shark says that stacked in the locker would be a huge upgrade. I agree. Now that I'm talking about that, things like I usually play, I'm always playing to try to legacy, and so I don't end up with one of these extremely long-term communities that builds up this stuff. So this stuff doesn't occur to me. So I'm really thankful for people who get into my chat and tell me how they play and how and what inconveniences they run into, because that seems eminently solvable. So yeah, and actually, we've got an effort that's coming up that might actually be really appropriate for this. I'll put this in front of a couple other people that will be making some of those decisions, because I think focusing because we're trying to think of more ways that we can support people, hardcore players who play for a very long period of time. Somebody in my chat yesterday was like, I played a community for 1,000 days, and I'm like, what? Which is just, they're probably just getting into situations there that a typical early player would never get into. And so, yeah, improving your ability to sort of manage the sheer amount of stuff you've collected feels like a very worthwhile use of our time if we are trying to support people like that. So, Cogs, I'm not actually sure what you're asking there. So sorry. Mama Tinker says that this is why that people love Undead Labs, is because we pay attention. We try to we're really trying to help. The thing is, I think every game developer not every single one probably. You never say every about anything, but I think most game developers really do actually. One of their top priorities is wanting to make their game a better experience for other people. We're in the uniquely kind of special situation where, as a first party studio supported by Game Pass, we actually have the economic freedom to spend the time doing that, and that's not everybody does. And so a lot of the time I don't think it has anything to do really with whether the developers care about supporting the game long term and listening to their players. I think it's much more usually about whether they have the opportunity to do anything about it. So I do think that Undead Labs is doing a particularly special job of this, but I don't think it's because we're kind of like some kind of like special, especially cool people. I think it's more about our situation. I think a lot of developers wish that they had the freedom to do the kind of thing that we've been doing with State of Decay 2. Gior, I'm not going to repeat your bitter comments about other developers. Oh, so Cogs is asking, when I was just talking about the fact that we've got an effort planned in the future that might be an appropriate time to do some, to mess around with the supply locker and sort of managing a lot of resources that are built up over time. And Cogs is like, is it necessary to make sure that you're doing changes at the same time, like that? So I don't think it's not like necessary. I mean, it's always, it's perfectly possible to make changes, all little tiny changes all over the game. I think that the advantage is, we've always got people sort of moving in and out of our team. This is just really common in the game industry for people to sort of move around from project to project, stuff like that. And so, a lot of the time, like you'll have, the programmer who built a particular feature for release will be different from the programmer who implemented stuff around the Juggernaut, the early Juggernaut era, versus the programmer who's implementing it now. And so there's a lot of knowledge that has to sort of, we have to, be very, comment and document all of our stuff really, really well so we can pass it from person to person. And so a lot of the time, the reason to do a bunch of related things at once is because a new programmer is coming in and is now in charge of a feature they haven't been in charge of before. They have to learn everything about it, and giving them a bunch of related tasks. Not only does it save time on how much ramping up they have to do in order to get a lot done in the game. Like if they're going to be cracking open a particular system anyway and figuring out how it works, having them make all of the improvements we want to make to that system all at the same time is just a really efficient use of time. But I think it also helps on the player's side too, because I think if we just make a bunch of random changes scattered across the game, it's easy to just not even notice that we that we changed anything. But if we take one particular part of the game and make a bunch of really related changes in that one place, then I think it feels like a more revolutionary sort of change, and players sort of can really sort of grok what happened. I think a lot more easily because they can see all the changes. They can see sort of a focused, themed set of changes that make the game better in one particular way that's really easy to sort of wrap your head around. Let's see here. So Mama Tinker says, I think some devs try to improve to sell more than to make things better for the players. That's a complicated question, right? Because I think those two motivations are really well aligned most of the time. I mean, making a game better so that players will be happier with it, also makes players more likely to buy it, more likely to tell their friends to buy it, more likely to continue investing in an ongoing subscription, makes them more likely to purchase DLC, or if your game has microtransactions, so I think that those motivations, it's more like, there are people on a team whose job it is to worry about how much the game is selling and worry about whether, you're making ends meet, whether the studio survives or continues to contribute the way it should to the larger company. There's people whose job it is to be really good at worrying about that. And there's people whose job it is to be really worried about, what the experience is like for the player. And that's I get to be in the second category, which is great. I like being one of those people. It's a very satisfying experience for me, because I am, a player of games, and I like them to be good. I like to, I take more pride in a game that's good, that, has sort of hits a certain quality bar. But most of the time, those two are pretty well aligned with each other. Like me wanting to make the game better because my job is to be very focused on, on the player experience, versus somebody else on the team whose job is to be very focused on the success of and continuation of our studio. A lot of the time, it's the same choices. And so I don't think that it necessarily needs to be a dichotomy. I think there are times where there'll be subtle alignment differences where, if there's two features that would both help the player, but one of them seems more likely to sort of cause players to stick around for longer, or seems like a clearer selling point, something that's easier to market to the outside. The fact that, that we're more aligned on this, like this is not just a good sell for someone like me, but it's also a good sell for somebody who's focused on, the finances and the marketing and stuff like that. These will be more likely to happen. Because it's easy to get alignment on them between the creatives and the financial people. Things that have less of a clear argument for why, people who really know the game well will appreciate this quality of life improvement, but you can't just tell random people that you've added this feature and have them be excited about the game. Those are harder to get done because it's just you have to sort of make more of a case for them. And so a lot of these, it helps if they're very small because we can sort of sneak them into updates that are more motivated by this. And so but it's not a question of just being one or the other. I think no studio is 100% motivated by creative quality factors or 100% motivated by financial factors. They both always weigh in, and when something clearly addresses both, that's going to be the easiest thing to do. So I actually So anyway, I guess it is an advantage to be involved with something like Game Pass, where I think that things get to skew a little bit more this direction, get to skew a little bit more towards the creative side, because it's mostly about maintaining long-term players, or it's at least 50-50 about maintaining long-term players and having people, continue to invest in Game Pass in order to get continued access to this game, because the game keeps getting better in ways that they care about. Like it lets us push a little bit more in that direction because we're not relying on selling new things in order to continue, keep the lights on. And so that helps a lot. And I think that might be part of what for some people, what Undead Labs is doing with State of Decay feel special, is because, we are pushed a little bit more in that direction, but it's never binary. We are still thinking of this stuff, and we have to, you can't just be like, when you call something, a game as a service, that doesn't mean you're doing it as a free service necessarily for people. It's not a game, not games as charity, because, we do. I like having a paycheck. I like being able to, pay my mortgage and my bills and things like that. And so, we all need to worry about that kind of thing. But yeah, there we go. I have just fallen completely behind on the chat. Sorry about that. Stealthy Assassin asks, how do you guys at Undead Labs manage your knowledge base for the team? Very badly. Just absolutely poorly. That's actually one thing. So the next update that we're working on has actually taken up a lot of my attention, and I've been needing to do a lot of personal implementation on it, which is too bad, because one of the things that I was explicitly going to try to spend this summer doing was trying to get our knowledge base in order. We've got a sort of a wiki-like place where we can sort of keep information about the game, document how each part of our game works, how what the theory behind it is, what we're trying to do, and then how it works under the hood. And there's lots of like random documents and things like that people have written over the years to try to sort of keep their especially as they, for instance, if they move to a different team or if they left the company, we're like, please write up everything that people need to know, because we're not going to have access to you anymore. At least not as easily. And so we've got a bunch of that scattered around, but there's terrible organization. It's really hard to find, and a lot of time we end up just relying on like fan wikis and stuff like that to tell us what's going on in our own game. So that sucks, right? And so I was going to spend this summer trying to get that in order, and then I ended up spending the summer working on the current update we haven't announced yet. So after we ship that update, maybe I'll actually get some time to do that, because it is really valuable. I mean, there's people who have full-time jobs that are like, I think I've talked to folks like, for instance, Blizzard, I think, has got a department that is just completely about keeping track of all of the lore and all of just everything, that has been said and done within the world, within the IPs that they've created. And we don't have something that's easily searchable, that, or easy to navigate, that does that job. Let's see here. Akita Shark says, are there still codes for the pre-order packs floating around? I'd love to get my hands on that at some point. We've got some that we can use for like prizes and stuff like that. Maybe we should give more of them away on our stream and stuff, so people have more of a chance to get that kind of thing. They are floating around. I just don't. They're not. We don't have an infinite number of them though. Sinister Cheshire asks, a random question: when the players find bugs that we find funny, like a car for some reason bouncing into a tree, does your team of developers also find it funny, or is it more frustrating that something you worked on didn't work? It's kind of both. I think when we see an isolated bug that does something really weird, we all laugh about it. We share it with each other. But we're also like, we're laughing kind of while doing this, and thinking about how we would fix it. When a bug gets particularly, like for instance, our cars flying into the air bug, which we've solved different incarnations of, but like it's just very persistent. It always seems to be that there's always some kind of way that a car can get into trouble, and we keep not fully resolving it. Like after a while, we just start putting our head in our hands. We're like, when are we going to find all of the instances of this? When are we going to find all the ways to fix this? And it can be embarrassing, but when it's funny and the players are taking it well, then it's kind of a laughing embarrassment, rather than just embarrassment. So yeah, so we do, and when there's a funny bug, we do like pass videos of it around the office and stuff like that. So we do, we try to have good humor about it while at the same time thinking how are we going to fix this. So Jedi Sectric says, related question, how much do you hate if we share this because we think it's funny? I mean, there's no there's very few things you can share that would not ultimately be good for the game. If you're sharing funny bug videos from State of Decay, you're saying, yeah, there's bugs with State of Decay, but you're also saying you love State of Decay enough to have recorded its bugs. There's an implied level of love and commitment in sharing videos about a game. I mean, unless you really are just somebody who's just savage, like ripping a game to shreds, most of the time sharing things about it is only good for the game, is only good for the community. So there's no bitterness or anger or anything like that from us towards you over that sort of thing. Yeah, so Stealthy Assassin. Yeah, so we use it's made by Atlassian. It's called Confluence. It's a wiki-like system where basically everybody has access to this, tree of documents. So we can all just run around and edit, kind of willy-nilly, leave comments and stuff like that. So it's a nice collaborative place. That's where I write all the patch notes, for instance, is there, and so that everyone has access to it. People can read and make comments and let me know if I've gotten a patch note wrong, that sort of thing. So it's pretty useful. We also use Google Docs, mostly just because those are easy to format nicely. And the commenting system is really well done. So when we're usually like collaborating on a document for like an ongoing piece of work, we'll either use Google Docs or Miro, which is this sort of like virtual whiteboard software. But yeah, like the sort of the long term, let's keep this forever and have it be searchable. If we're looking for that kind of solution, then we usually use Confluence for that. So Turtle showed up and said, "Hey, are you playing the game or are you just talking?" So yeah, I just finished playing the game for an hour, and actually I should probably wrap up the video that I'm making here. But you guys are asking so many interesting questions. It's I'm having fun answering them. No One Mai is looking forward to a version of the game inspired by my son where each zombie is driving a flaming car. Oh, that's that. Well, I have suggested that we do a mode where every zombie is on fire at all times, just to see what players do with that situation. Because, of course, if you touch a zombie on fire, you catch on fire too. And so, what do you do in that situation? I don't know exactly how we would set that up, but... and also, I mean, I think that the performance of the game would absolutely tank if every zombie was on fire at all times. And so, we probably don't want to do that, but I have joked about it. It would be kind of fun for a bit. Cogs asks, do you expect to make another edition of State of Decay, or is Juggernaut sort of the final edition? That's a good question. So yeah, making Juggernaut a new edition was partly about taking the previous DLCs and merging them in so that you had like an independent thing you could buy in the store that implied it contains not just the original game, but also all the DLC that had come out to that point. And so I think the only reason for us to do another edition like the Juggernaut edition is there's two things that could motivate us. One is if we've added something to the game that we feel is worth, sort of doing a major marketing push or something like that. And so having a new edition with new box art and stuff, it does a better job of getting players' attention and sort of focusing them on the fact that the game has been refreshed in some way. So that could be a thing we could decide to do if we wanted to, but that might be a little bit of a stretch, because I think usually when you see a new edition of something, that means that it contains like special content that normally you would have to buy separately or something like that. And so unless we were to come out with a paid DLC that we then wanted to fold into a larger edition of the game, I think that would be the main thing that would motivate us to do something that was treated like a new edition. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I think people have gotten used enough to the idea of there being sort of regular updates to a game after release that just continuing to do updates and just having the Juggernaut edition of State of Decay 2 be the thing that contains all of these updates. That's probably fine. Like, I don't think that we lose much by just handling it in that sort of simpler way. We might still change up the box art sometimes because it does sort of help refresh it in people's minds and make them sort of reconsider the idea of buying it. But yeah, I think that might be as far as we take it. Raneth Cord, interesting. So it says, are we planning on working on the exploding car bug? Yes, we need to get the right person to do it, because it takes a certain kind of expertise. But yeah, we do absolutely intend to do more work on the exploding car bug. It's really annoying to us, and like right now, like we don't have our sort of resources arrayed in the perfect way to address it, but we desperately want to, because yeah, that's kind of a dramatic one, and I think people will get very frustrated if we go too long. We've already probably actually passed the point where we've kind of asked players to deal with it for a little bit too long. Luckily, I mean, it is uncommon. I've only encountered it once in all of my play of the game, in the retail version of the game. But still, at the same time, yeah, we would like to do it. So John Bon Zombie suggests that people like Brian Menard are making their own versions of State of Decay 2, like Dark Side. I know there's like a Walking Dead mod that's supposed to be particularly hard. John Bon asks, ever thought of collaborating with creators based on their ideas? So in general, I think that usually, like for instance, companies don't take formal submissions from the outside usually. Like if somebody sends us a letter that says, here is a formal submission of my ideas for the next game you should make, or my ideas for State of Decay 2, we have to not read them. And sort of send them back unread, or whatever. Not send them back, but like reply that we haven't read it or something like that. Because like lawyers will advise us, don't expose ourselves to somebody being able to say, this was my idea, and the developer stole it or something like that. Because whatever, ideas are easy. It's the execution that's hard, and so it's kind of silly, but that is sort of a thing that we have to protect ourselves with. Now, doing a formal collaboration with somebody would be different because there would probably be some kind of like formal agreement or whatever that says whatever that we're working together. But I don't know if it just doesn't seem really necessary. It's like sort of the kind of little like the mod community kind of has the freedom to do their own thing, and then we've got the freedom to do our own thing, and I don't think that those necessarily need to be sort of like formally working together. I think that like we'll make whatever we think our version of, say, like lethal difficulty, for instance. We made our version of a very difficult version of the game, and other people are like, no, what I want was this one, and they made mods that said I want to have this particular a very difficult version of the game. And I think it's actually good that those are separate, that we've got our sort of official version, that this is what we think sort of the ideal really super hard version of the game is, but people who disagree with us can make their own, and that's just fine. Like we don't have to try to pick our favorite version, our favorite mod, and just integrate it directly into the game and have to go in that one direction. Like we can go our direction, they can go theirs, and then people can choose whether they want to go with the official hard version of the game or one of the ones that comes from outside creators. And I think sort of fostering that sort of diversity of possibilities is valuable, and I don't know if we necessarily need to take it any further. John Bon Zombie. I love it when people sort of tell me positive stories about how the game has influenced their lives in a positive way. Because usually it's just like, this is just a fun little pastime, whatever. And now and then somebody finds some deeper meaning in it for themselves. And so sharing those kinds of stories it feels really good to developers. So thank you for sort of telling me about the good effect this game had in your life. That makes me feel really good. I really appreciate that. Well, now I'm getting emotional. So we should let's wrap up this video. I can, I'll keep streaming. Those of you who are watching me live, I am going to keep streaming. But we'll wrap up the YouTube video. We'll leave it there. So if you want to subscribe to my channel, as always, I'll stick a little magical button right there. And I'll put, whatever next session I do of State of Decay 2, I'll put it there. I don't know what it's going to look like, but you can click on it and find out.